Welcome everyone to another episode of Spirit Speaks. This is week 3. My name is Tori and I'm so excited to be here with you guys as we wrap up January 2019, the first month of the new year. There's a lot that I've been downloading from Spirit in the last couple weeks that I'm excited to share with you guys today, and also offer you some practices as you reflect on the last month and enter into the new month ahead in February. So if you're just hopping on, send me a wave, let me know where you're tuning in from, and we will dive right in. So I want to start by just doing a quick recap of January and all of the transitions and the movement that took place on a more emotional level. For me, I was talking to a few girlfriends in my mastermind, and we all agreed that the start of January didn't come with this new beginning, that feeling of like, oh, we're starting fresh, there's this new beginning. It felt more of a continuation from 2018. So I think a lot of us have this fixed idea that the new year means there's all these new beginnings and there's all these new things happening, and that's certainly been the case in other situations, but for this particular new year, I didn't feel that. I felt like we were still moving through a period of inquiry, and we were still moving through a period of finding clarity and fine-tuning our energy. So that brought a lot of anxiety for a lot of people, because they're like, what the hell is going on? Why don't I feel this refreshed, exciting energy right now? Why do I still feel so tired and so worn out from all the stuff that happened in 2018? So if you've been feeling like that, holler, drop a comment below, let me know if that resonates, because that's definitely what I've been seeing in my community. It's what I've been feeling in my own journey. So I'm interested to see if you guys resonate with that as well. So with that new energy that we're starting to cultivate for the new year, I have been getting the download that the new year is actually starting in a couple weeks. So January really served as another platform for us to stay in this space of questioning. And questioning doesn't have to be bad. Being at that middle ground where you're not quite taking action, but you're not unclear, that gray area, to me, is where the magic happens. So I kind of look at the universe as like this vortex, and we were just in this cosmic cooker. We were cosmically cooking and cosmically just receiving and integrating and really allowing all the lessons from 2018 to settle in our bones, and really allowing all that we learned from 2018 to ignite our hearts. But it wasn't really time to take action. And now that we have wrapped up all of January, I'm getting the message that the new beginning that we've been craving and that fresh energy that we've been searching for all the last 30 days is coming up within the first 2 weeks of February. So again, if that resonates with you, let me know. If you're just hopping on, we're just talking about how January and the new year, it just did not feel the same. It felt really, really different. It didn't feel like this new beginning. It felt like a continuation of sorts. So the biggest thing that I've learned in this last 30 days is that in order for us to continue to create change in our lives, and in order for us to continue to clarify our visions and move forward in a direction that feels authentic to our soul's purpose, we have to remain flexible. And the moment that we shift out of flexibility and into the controller of our reality versus the creator of our reality, we have sucked the experience dry of possibility. And we've sucked out the life and the magic that's available to us when we stay in that flexible space. So I hope that what I've talked about the last couple of weeks has landed, because really what we're talking about here is zooming out of our spiritual practice and really applying it to our everyday life. Every single person that we speak to, every situation that we find ourselves in, can we start to become more spiritually embodied on a cellular level, not just hiding behind the spiritual closet and doing it by ourselves on our meditation pillow or in our yoga practice, or whatever you choose to express your spirituality or express your daily devotion to finding more truth. I think that we are being called to step out and really honestly ask ourselves why we're doing what we're doing, And by doing that, we get to find the flexibility that is necessary to create new change. Because how we did it in the past isn't what's going to get us to where we want to go in the future. We need to stay in that mode of flexibility so that we can balance the energy of being in the present moment and also doing based off of the inspired action that we're receiving. So that's what I think we're stepping into for February, and what we're expanding on is, one, balancing between being and doing. And what I mean by that is being in the present moment, receiving what you're being given in that moment, and being with it, literally being with it, and just bringing awareness to the table. And then also taking physical action and physical steps towards your desires, towards your goals, towards the doors that are opening. So this is the embodiment of flexibility, right? Because whenever we're going into just doing, and we're trudging through and we're getting it all done and we have all these to-do lists and there's a lot of action, we are no longer creating our reality. We're trying to control our reality. So we have to shift out of that mindset, and that feeling of needing to control things really comes up when we have that fear of the unknown. And to me, that's what January represented, was this fear of the unknown. And Spirit was like, how flexible can you be in the unknown? How open can you be to negotiation? How open can you be to possibility? How open can you be to the creation that you're experiencing in the present moment? Can you keep moving forward and being present without knowing the whole picture yet? So like I said, January, it feels like we usually have this clear idea of what the new year is going to bring. We have this clear idea of what's about to happen and what we want to manifest and all our goals. And yes, some of us might have that ironed out, but what I've seen is a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't know what the fuck is about to happen this new year. A lot of us don't really know. And I want this message from Spirit to be, it's okay to not know. It's truly okay to not know. Can this gift of not knowing be an opportunity and a lesson for us? Can it be an opportunity for us to truly arrive at our spiritual practice and truly trust in the transitions and the changes that are ahead of us, and truly find faith on a cellular level that no matter what, even if you don't have the full picture, even if you don't have every single step figured out, you are being guided at every second of the day. That's what we're being called to do, is activate that faith and that trust on a cellular level, so we do not fall victim to our fear and we don't get so caught up in the act of controlling and doing. We have to balance that out with the flexibility of being. And being can involve being open to the changes, being open to the options, being open to the feelings that are present, being open that that feeling might change later. That flexibility is really going to be the gasoline for your tank this next month. So I want us to carry that lesson into February and amplify it with our trust and our faith. The other message that is coming through big time today especially has been the art of receiving. The art of receiving. There is a beauty in the art of receiving that not many of us have tapped into because we simply do not feel worthy enough. We don't feel worthy enough to co-create with the universe. We don't feel worthy enough to ask for what we really want. We don't feel worthy enough to receive the help to create what we really want. And that has got to shift as we move into February, because it's simply not true. You are so worthy of everything that you desire. And if something in your life does not feel good, it is your responsibility to change it. It is your responsibility to show up for it and to call in the support that you need, because you didn't come here on earth to do it all by yourself. And you also didn't come here to have all the answers. You came here to learn the language of your intuition, to work with the laws of the universe, and to co-create on a daily basis from a place of trust and faith. That's why you came here. And yes, there will be some days when you're more clear on where you're going than others, but there's going to be a lot of days where you can't see the full staircase. But that's not a good enough reason to not take the first step. Martin Luther King said, you don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. Each step reveals itself each time you say yes. So I really want us to tune in and start to ask ourselves, where am I denying my ability to receive? Where am I denying myself the help and the support that I need to call in order to step into what I believe to be my authentic truth? Who do I need to speak with on a physical level? So there's going to be a lot of partnerships and exchanges from what I'm getting from Spirit this next month. So don't be surprised if new people enter your community, if you make some new friendships, or you are maybe calling in a new girlfriend or a new partner. That's all coming on the physical level. But also on an emotional level, what do you need? Do you need more space? Do you need more freedom? Do you need more cleansing? Do you need more meditation? And how can you receive that as part of your emotional nourishment? And then the deeper layer is spiritually. What do you need? What guides can you call in? What guidance from your intuition can you call in? All of that falls under the category of help, and helping is associated with receiving. You have to be able to receive the help that is needed to get you into the next chapter of your life. So wherever you are in your journey, I want us to drop in and truly ask ourselves, where am I cutting off my receptivity? Where have I denied myself of that gift? And how can I open that up again so that I'm no longer trudging forward alone, so that I'm not forcing all this to happen and I'm co-creating on a higher vibration. So if that's resonating with you, drop a comment. I know there's a bunch of people that just hopped on, so welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. I also wanted to expand on that message because it falls and opens up into so many different things. So once we begin to open up our ability to receive, we're not only operating from a higher emotional intelligence, but we're also working with a higher level of vibration, a higher consciousness. So think about it this way. If you are coming here on earth thinking you're meant to know everything, thinking that you're supposed to figure it all out by yourself, that no one's going to come and help you, that you don't have any of the resources that you need, you're going to have to come up with them all by yourself, and you're going to have to fine-tune all the details before it gets to be a reality. I mean, I'm getting exhausted just thinking that way. So imagine what your soul and your body's feeling if that's the mindset that you have. I wouldn't take the first step if that was my belief system. So my invitation for you as you wrap up January is to reflect on your entry into 2019. Reflect on the lessons that you've received so far. Just reflect on the transitions that have taken place, the changes that have taken place unexpectedly, and allow them to be gifts of opportunity for you to practice receiving more guidance from a physical level, an emotional level, or perhaps a spiritual level. And if at any point you feel receive, then you have a little bit of more work to do to ask yourself, when did I decide I had to do this all by myself? When did I decide that this was the only way? When did I cut off all the other options that are in front of me and I'm only looking at this one? I talked about this a little bit last week on my Instagram story. I was driving to La Jolla to teach yoga, and if you know La Jolla at any time of day, it's just like a nightmare finding parking up there. No matter what time of day, it's a complete nightmare. And I always leave an hour early because I want to leave enough time to park and get into class on time. So when I enter into La Jolla, I just automatically just put up my defense, and I'm like, I need to find parking right now, and it's going to be so hard. This is going to be so terrible. So right when I pull in, I see this car that's about to move. She's like getting her stuff ready to move, but she ended up taking forever. And there was a huge line of cars that was forming behind me, so it was like, shit, I have to just keep going, and it's going to take forever. right when I kept going, I realized that there was 5 open parking spots right in front of me that I wasn't even looking at because I was so focused on it being a struggle to find parking. And how often do we do that in our own lives, with our money, with our relationships, with our to-do lists? We automatically assume that shit has to be hard. We automatically hop on the struggle train, and it cuts off our ability to see the opportunities that are in front of us. And it's because we like predictability. We rather have the predictability of struggle than to swim in the unknown of potential magic, potential abundance. And this is all where we have to begin rising up and raising our consciousness to begin receiving and begin to see from a higher vantage point all that is in front of us. And that doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. It just means that you have to be open to the potential and the possibility of what each moment could bring you. That is when life gets so much more exciting and so much bigger and so much more elevated. So February is all about receiving, and that can come in so many different ways. The last layer that I'll wrap up with, I pulled one card from my new Rebecca Campbell deck. If you don't already have this deck, it's so freaking gorgeous. She did an amazing job. Just realized it's upside down, but that's okay. And I asked Spirit, what is the energy that we're stepping into for February? What do we need to know in order to feel safe in the unknown? What do we really need to know? Because there's so much fear around the unknown and not really knowing what's going to be happening next, and not truly understanding how to handle these unexpected changes and the turbulence that can sometimes take place when we are upgrading our lifestyle or going through a transformation. And the card that I pulled was an inquiry card, and it says, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So to me, when I first saw this card, the very first thing that I thought of was, wow, we're still not being called to take action. And so often we want to take action before we've truly inquired, before we've truly done the inner work first to clean up our vibration. We're just so conditioned to do and take action and go for it, kind of like I was talking about a moment ago. So when I pulled this card, this proposed a question for all of us to slow the fuck down and really tune in to what our soul is calling us to do. Have we even asked the question? And can we stay around long enough for the answer before we zip off to the next thing or run off to the next thing and try to find the answer? Can we stay in the mode of asking, which is, again, receiving? If you ask for something, you have to be open to receiving the answer. So if you're not open to receiving and your mode of receptivity is cut off or short-circuited, you're not going to get the answers that you're dying to receive because you simply are not open to them. So we, my friends, are still coming into February in a space of questioning. I want you guys to start to question each thought that comes into your mind. Start to question which is true and which is not. Start to question when you began to believe certain things, when you've come up with certain conclusions. Just pause and say, when did I decide that that was true? When did I decide that I have to struggle to make this work? When did I decide that this is my only stream of revenue? When did I decide that if I don't have this job, I'm no longer worthy? We have to start questioning ourselves if we're going to receive the answers that our soul is that are truly trying to deliver us. So that's step one. It's a practice that you can implement right when this video ends. Start to question your thoughts, challenge them. And that's going to allow you to create new ones and actually inspire you to create new ones in present times. You don't have to sit down and do this with a journal and pen. Of course you can if you want to, but this can all be just a mental dialogue and a mental conversation that you have with yourself. The second question that we have to ask as we enter February is, what is my soul calling me to do? What has been that nagging feeling that I cannot get rid of, that I'm no longer willing to ignore? What is my soul calling me to do? What am I being pulled into without any effort? And this, again, is not a question where you need to go get up out of your seat and go find it. It's a question of sitting down and receiving it. Receive the answer in your heart. Receive the answer through maybe a song. Maybe you have a sign come through. Maybe a voice comes through. Maybe a gut feeling comes through that translates into information. All of these are intuitive channels that we have access to. And if you're not open to receiving, then your channel of guidance is turned off, and you're going to continue to feel lost in the sea of the unknown. And when you're lost in the sea of the unknown, you do not have the confidence to rise up and create the way that you are being called to create. You become a victim that doesn't feel worthy and feels overwhelmed and gets anxious. That's not what you came here to do or be. You came here for so much more. So stand up. Calm your shoulders down. Allow your breath to enter your body. Ask the hard question, what is my soul calling me to do? And then stay in your body, in your presence for the answer. Say, I am open to receiving the answer in the form of a sign, in the form of a knowing, in the form of a feeling. I'm open to receiving it. In this moment, I am opening my channel to receive the divine intelligence that is ready to move through me. I am here. I have arrived. I am not leaving. I am staying right here. I am going to continue to inquire and question and ask. And I'm also open to receiving. I'm excited to receive. I'm eager to know more. I don't have to, and I'm not gripping to any certain answer, but I'm eager to know more. I'm eager to receive in the form of spiritual knowledge, of partnership, of helping hands, of energetic resources. I'm eager to receive what I need in this moment to step into my soul's higher calling. That is our daily prayer every day for February, is getting into the art of receiving and starting to ask the bigger questions. I want us to stop asking why so fucking much. Like, so many of my clients are like, why is this happening? Why can't I figure this out? Why are these things happening all at once? And I look to them and I share with them, it doesn't matter why. You're wasting your time if you're trying to figure out why. Can you zoom out and ask for what you need to move forward? Not worrying about why it happened. It already happened. So we're here. We're in this present day, in this time and space. We don't need to dwell on why. We need to propel forward and create options for ourselves. We need to propel forward and create a connection with our intuition so that we feel more grounded and confident in our daily life. That is what we are being called to do for February. So if I had to sum up the theme of February in one word, it would be receive, receive, receive. That is your mantra. I am open to receive, I am willing to receive, and I am eager to know more. That is the mantra. And from that, you are going to see that the universe starts to communicate with you with more clarity. You won't be so damn confused. You won't be so frazzled, so worried, so caught up in the micro details. You'll feel like you are communicating with a higher divine intelligence. Because if I'm being honest, friends, like, this year is not going to be like anything else. This is a fresh, like, completely new, upgraded year. We are stepping into some huge energy. We are entering such a shift on a global level, but also an individual level. So we have to just put down this need of predictability and start to see the possibilities that are in front of us and start to get excited about those possibilities and open about those possibilities. Because really, what you want on a soul level, the universe knows, okay? But you're not always going to know how it materializes in the physical world. Sometimes that just takes time. And you're going to know what you need to know exactly when you need to know it. And you're going to receive what you need to receive exactly when you need to receive it. And that gets to be the rule of your life. No longer do you identify with the woman who doesn't have enough or can't quite figure it out or isn't adequate enough or capable enough. That's not who you are. You are the type of woman who knows what she needs to know when she needs to know it, who is always open to the guidance of the universe, who always listens to her intuition, who always takes risks, who always takes the first step, who always asks herself, what is my soul calling me to do? That's who you are, and that's who you're being asked to embody in February. And that is going to open up doors that you can't even imagine with your physical mind. It's going to open up opportunity that you've never even thought of. So prepare for a cosmic surprise and be open to that surprise and stay grounded in the knowing that no matter what, you're guided. And no matter what, there is an answer there to help you take the first step. But you do not need the full picture. You don't need the full picture yet. It hasn't been painted all the way. You're still creating it. So one of my teachers, I forget who it was because I work with so many people, but the idea of you can't analyze the unknown. You can't sit there and figure out the unknown. That's a waste of time. But what you can do is you can create with the unknown, and you can dance with the unknown, and you can be open to the possibility of the unknown. And that, my friends, is when you stop being a control freak and you start to enter into a higher vibration of creating the change that needs to happen in your life, of creating the answers that you need to move forward. Woo. So February is all about receiving. Take your time to ask these bigger questions. And don't go running to the next thing. Stay in your body for the answer. If you need support, reach out to your fellow sisters. Reach out to me. You guys know where to find me. If you have any questions, also let me know. I always come back and check the comments. Good. I'm so glad you guys resonated with this message. All right. So have a beautiful rest of your week. I'll see you again next Wednesday for more downloads. And if you need anything, please reach out. This is not the time to go about life alone. There's so much support surrounding you. So open your eyes and follow the people that are lifting you up. Call in the help that you need to feel grounded, and allow the universe to surprise you this month. There's some exciting things in your corner. You just can't see it all yet, and I promise you it's all coming. Namaste. I love you. I believe in you, and I will see you again next week. Ciao.